Hi and welcome to Silver Soul Tarot. Today we are going to do a general reading using the Angels and Aura Oracle along with the Ever So Sweet Sugar and Spice Tarot. Let's get to it, shall we? So first of all, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jo. If you are a returning viewer, great to see you again. Please hit that subscribe button. Why are you not subscribed? If you are a subscriber, much love to you. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's crack on, shall we? I do apologise about the lighting. I've got all the lights on that I can use, but we have got just a very wet and windy, stormy sort of a day today. Normally when America has a hurricane about a week to 10 days later, we get days of, well, miserable weather like we've got today. So I apologise for lighting. I can't help it, you know. The sun forgives the clouds, so maybe we should. Right, let's crack on. So the message out today is everything's okay. Everything's fine. Even when the weather's crap and I've got to use as many lights as I can, everything's fine. Reassurance, support, guidance, being overseen. You could be getting some big news from the universe. You might be getting some form of communication. 444 could be a number that you are seeing. I have to admit I've seen fours a lot recently, and ones, a lot of ones. Right, let's keep going. The second card out today is Wise Decision. Accurate, brilliant, organised and validated. Okay, so maybe you made some sort of decision, or a decision has been made for you on the other side, and you're about to receive some very good news. Yeah, I take this one as it resonates. I don't know if you've just made a massive decision, but it was the right decision if you have. If you haven't, then maybe, you know, you're about to hear about something that the angels have decided is going to be for you. You've got the Four of Swords. So someone here might have been, or maybe is currently resting, recuperating. You know, maybe you've been taking a long time to make a decision. You know, maybe they say sleep on it, but maybe you slept on it and you had plenty of time to make this decision. You know, I don't think you were particularly being pushed or anything. You know, hurry up. You've taken your time. Or you are currently taking your time, and there's this decision that has going to be made out of it, or you've made a decision. Take this one, it resonates. I'm going to just carry on like you've made a decision, but because that's what it feels like. Someone's made a decision recently. Oh. The next card that came out was the Page of Pentacles. So maybe there was an offer that came into you. It feels like you've made the decision. The decision was the right decision, so it feels like you said yes, but obviously no is also the right decision sometimes. But if an offer came into you, maybe a little bit unexpected, or you know, via a communication. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Right, so I have to admit it was a bit of a longer phone call than normally, so I've kind of forgotten where I was. But this decision that you have made, maybe it came in as an offer of some description, or it's going to, okay? I mean, maybe it is going to because of the message, or recently. Maybe it's been very recently. Let's keep going. So the Three of Pentacles is some sort of an upgrade to your situation, okay? So this decision that you've made, this offer that was made that you've accepted, that was a very wise decision. So you obviously took your time, or you're taking your time to think it through. There's this upgrade. It's you being noticed. It's you working with others. I always use the example with the Three of Pentacles as like you're an artist, and you know, someone notices your work and offers you a small corner of their gallery. Oh, get me out of the focus. You know, for a couple of days, and it's you just getting that little sort of leg up in some way. And I think this is what this has been. Some sort of improvement is definitely coming. You've got the Five of Wands, so maybe this was, especially when I see this specific card, you know, two balls sort of butting heads. Maybe you were a little bit conflicted about this. You know, you really had to kind of see both sides of the story. You know, had to juggle a little bit. I mean, the Five of Wands is conflict, But in this sense, I think it's just that maybe the conflict was within you slightly more, and you know, you really had to kind of think about two specific different, you know, maybe you had to think about a career you're already in or a job you're already in, plus, you know, how are you going to be able to, you know, fit family around it. It's just something like that where you've you had to really think about some things. So then judgment. Okay, so yes, judgment is about being called to action. It's about the rebalancing of the scales. There could have been a contract that you need to sign, so it could have been slightly more, you know, maybe that's why there was some conflict. It was slightly more, I mean, maybe you were signing an NDA or something, do you know what I mean? There was just something more to this than, yeah, it was just something, it wasn't as easy as, do you want to come and work for my company? It was like, I've got this job opening, XYZ, you know, and you really had to think about X. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was just something that really took your attention in the decision-making process. So you've got the King of Cups in the decision-making process. You've made the right choice, clearly. You had all the information, or you gathered all the information. You were informed of everything you needed to be informed of. You've made the, you know, you've been very intellectual. This has been a very, I don't want to say necessarily a difficult decision, but it was certainly an important decision that you had to make. That's an interesting reading. What was this about? If this resonates with you, please, if you can, obviously, pop a comment down below and just say, yes, you know, I had this was a job description, you know, a job placement. It feels worky. It doesn't feel like romantic. The Ten of Swords. So yeah, maybe you had to let something be dead, done and over with. Maybe it meant that you had to walk away from a job that you worked at for a long time, or, you know, a career path that you were on, and you've decided that you were going to go and do something different. You got the Fool coming out, so this is a new path. It's something different, something you, maybe it's not that you, rather than it being necessarily that you have done a whole new career and it's something completely different to what you've ever done before, it's just that maybe rather than going left, you went right. And, you know, rather than staying on as a an accountant at your firm, you've decided that you're going to go and be a partner somewhere else. You know, there's just it was just an improvement in your situation on this new journey. On this, yeah, take a bit of a leap of faith. There's definitely a sense of a leap of faith here. Like it was kind of, there was just sort of one or two little things. Maybe you had to do some negotiating. That's very potential. Maybe it was to do with money. Maybe you're with the Seven of Swords there, you had to negotiate a little bit. Maybe you needed a little bit more money, or I've just had a power cut. But the phone obviously is still working, so we're going to carry on. But I've got no light now, and I'm just working by the window. It's overcast. I do apologise, but we can keep going. Yeah, so maybe there was something to do with money. Maybe you needed more money. They offered you more money, and it, you know, ticked the boxes. Now you can see the shadow of my drink though. Yeah, so there's definitely a financial upgrade. And the Page of Wands, maybe a move even as well, potentially, or getting out of your comfort zone, or giving you something specific, you know, kind of a new spark, a new direction that's, it was either required or wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really felt like, or you've definitely, now that you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's with the contract. Oh wow, this is a really interesting reading. Something happened where you just needed that, you know, you played it smart. You were definitely thoughtful about how you needed to play it, you know. There was a lot of negotiating going on. That's there's probably a lot of communication going on, a lot of backwards and forwards. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of, you know, I need a little bit more money, or I also need, you know, bank holidays off. And, you know, you really had to fine tune the contract. That's definitely coming in. And finances probably was definitely there. The Two of Wands, yeah. So you decided you were going to go with the new offer, but there was some plan. That's my card of planning. So although it was not necessarily how do I word this? It's not necessarily that you had to plan, but you did have to think about your next steps. And the King of Cups there, and like I say, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure that certain things were written in the contract. All right, doggy. He doesn't like it when the power goes off because we've got one of those uninterruptible power things upstairs and it beeps and he doesn't like it. So the Nine of Cups, so yeah, it's like you this is a wish fulfillment, or it's a wish that you were asking for. You know, you're asking for something, a new job, a new career, a new path, and you know, you've got your cake and you can eat it. And the Five of Cups, it helps you to walk away from whatever is no longer serving you, whatever this Ten of Swords energy was, and things you have to walk away from. It's also a card of you know, sadness and disappointment. And when you do leave people, careers, jobs behind, yeah, there's going to be some sadness and disappointment, but what you're going on to is magic. What you are going on to is something you've been wanting, something you've been working towards, something you've been manifesting. I think this contract maybe is what's taken the time. You know, that's why it took a long time to think it through, the offer that you were given. Hold on, now the phone's ringing upstairs. Sorry, the phone downstairs is plugged in, and it goes on the power, on the electric, and the phone upstairs is just the normal phone. And it was just UK Power Networks telling me I've got a power cut. I know. Anyway, I was going to sort of close it off here. Let's just take a healing mantra, just for the fun of it, just to any more messages that want to come through. But whoever this is for, this is exactly what you've been working on. You know, you've put a lot of time thinking. I've got power back. A lot of time thinking about it and fine tuning. Let's get the power back on. Fine tuning the contract, and you know, like I say, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. There's been a lot of backwards and forwards, but you've actually got everything you were wanting, everything you were planning. Yes, you have to leave stuff behind. You know, your new life is going to cost you your old life. Your new job is going to cost you your old job. But it's going to be magic. It's going to be magic. Let's see what it is. Cultivating courage. In any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. Yeah, just follow your path, whatever that might be. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, doing gut instincts, whatever it is. If this hasn't happened to you yet, it's certainly going to happen soon. Maybe you're just at this phase, you know, of like thinking it through, or you're about to receive this offer, and be warned, it might take a little bit of, you know, backwards and forwards, to and fro in, you know, getting the details of it specific and exactly what you need it to be. But it's going to work out fantastically. It was a wise decision, made the right choice. I'm going to leave it there and say thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And all this stuff about lighting doesn't normally happen. So thank you for being patient with me. And catch you on the next one. Bye.